What's up? I'm Sean Hub. I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking. I'm kind of addicted to World of Warcraft. Okay, maybe addicted isn't quite the right word, but actually, come to think of it, Blizzard lets you taste a little bit for free, which kind of gets you hooked, and then you come back and you need to pay. And you pay a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And
Hey kid, would you like some drugs? The first one is free.
I say
yes!
the meth.
Okay, I don't know why I went so hard in that direction. I mean, sorry if that was a little misleading. I did, in fact, pay. So, what is the whole point of this video, you're probably wondering? Or maybe you aren't. The point is, this game is old as fuck, and it's been around for just a bit longer than I've been alive. How is it still thriving? Well, I decided to finally give it the attention that it deserves. I decided that I was going to jump in and see what all the fuss was about. I have tried a couple of times in the past to play it, but I never get too far, and that's my fault. You see, I would usually pick it up with a group of friends and kind of con them into playing, and obviously, the longevity of a con is questionable. And before you know it, everyone is long gone, and you're left alone. This time, I'm riding solo. This time, it's personal. Personally. Because I'm alone. You get it? That was awful. This time, I've decided I was going to make a character. I was going to play through the storyline, whatever that is. I was going to grind some gear, and I was going to find out if World of Warcraft retail is worth playing in 2025. I just wanted to give a quick, big shout out to me. All of this gameplay takes place on my stream, so if you made it out of the intro and you're interested in a little sneaky, little dirty, little sneaky peek, puppy, come check out my stream. I'd love to get people involved and perhaps run some dungeons and some raids, or whatever else there is to do in this game. So yeah, twitch.tv/SeanHub_live. I also stream on my YouTube channel, and I'll put all the links in the description of the video. So, here I am, a newbie, a freshie, a scrub, whatever you want to call me. Actually, is there a name for new WoW players? Hang on, what do they use? Ah, yes, I'm a scrub. What am I looking for as a scrub? A tutorial, of course. I need to know what I'm doing, or at least I need to be pointed in the right direction. I'm not here to learn about the game or the lore, no. I'm here to grind levels and obtain bitches, and I'm fresh out of bitches. I actually have a couple of cans in storage, but I have to go to the cellar, and it's a bit of a trip, so I seems getting up and have to touch grass to restock, and we ain't touching grass if we're grinding WoW levels. No. Grass is off the menu. In order to get anywhere near the tutorial, I'll have to make a character. I left it up to chat to come up with the faction and the name, but I picked the class because I want to be a mage. Shout out to Tony, the only person in chat at the time. So I essentially left it up to Tony to come up with the faction and the name. And what he came up with blew my mind. Alright, big naturals it is.
What are you doing? What exactly are you doing?
God. I wanted to make sure I spelled it right. I don't record these things in one day. I don't even have the whole fucking script written. Of course I got a new fucking shirt on. Tutorial Island. The tutorial was completely different to what I was expecting. The last time I played WoW was when Classic first came out, which was 2019, which feels like only yesterday, but we're in 2025 now, and oh my god, it's been 6 years. I'm so old now. Anyway, it was pretty fun. I had a good time learning the basic mechanics of the game. The quests also showed me pretty much what I'd be doing for the grind to level 70, and 80 when I inevitably go to NPC, accept all the campaign quests and some side quests if I feel like it, kill this, collect this, interact with this, and eventually talk to this guy to move to the next area.
You're a true hero.
Rinse and repeat. There are some quests that are a little different, but essentially this is the bread and butter of the grind that I expected. I didn't expect the super fun control the monster object thing quest though. Getting to control the big old boar and demolish a bunch of enemies was fucking awesome. Near the end of the tutorial island, we get to try our hand at a dungeon run as well. I was initially afraid I would miss out on the dungeon stuff, but they let you run it with AI companions, which is awesome. I really liked that addition to the game, and it made sure I got to have a taste of what a run would be like without letting anyone down. It's always good to be able to try out new features before you get thrown into a team of chads that expect you to know what you're doing, or at least be proficient with your abilities, both of which I am not. Honestly, the tutorial was pretty sweet, and I enjoyed it. Not too shabby, Blizzard. Not too shabby. Yes. Finally, I'm in Stormwind, a place I kind of remember a little bit. The game took me to a couple of places in the city, and I thought it would be worth checking out. I don't think I've explored Stormwind much at all, and I've actually maxed out as of creating this video, so I think that's something I should do. Maybe, if I remember. At this point, I wasn't sure where the game would take me, but luckily, I didn't need to think or learn anything, because a big old quest popped up, which spirited me away to the Dragonflight questline. Thank God. Before I knew what hit me, I was whisked away by an old friend that I just met for the first time to this magical island of dragons and wonder. Apparently, we have a lot of history together. I'd also meet this fiery dragon lady whom I also have some history with, who turns out to be a pretty important person. God. My character has only been alive for all of 2 hours and I'm already super popular with everyone, including the female ladies. No wonder people love this game. For the next 2 to 3 days, the formula would play the same. Do the quests, get the experience, get the money, get the women. Right when I felt like sparks were starting to fly, she would whisk me off to some dirty, stinking hole in the middle of nowhere, and my adventure would start again. And just when I thought I'd be getting to the climax of an area, which I probably was, but failed to read some of the dialogue, I'd be whisked off to learn about another place and meet some new characters. And a lot of them I already knew, but I didn't know. A lot of them knew me. I actually had a ton of fun here. I would do some of the side quests when I felt like it, run all the AI dungeons I could find. These were so fun. I eventually want to run some dungeons with actual players, but the ability to run it with AI was amazing. It really let me explore one of the more fun parts, in my opinion, without the worry of messing up for the giggers. Granted, the giggers probably wouldn't be doing the entry-level dungeons, but it doesn't take away from that anxiety. My main goal was to power through the main quest line because I heard along the grapevine that I would hit max level fast this way. Little did I know that what I originally thought to be the end wasn't actually the end. I was about to discover that with what I had believed to be the end was, in fact, only the beginning of something else entirely. I finally hit a wall. I got to the end of the main quest line by level 39. At the time, I thought that the raid was the finale of the quest line, and it is, I think. I don't know. I never ended up doing it. All I knew was that in order to continue, I would need to hit max level, which is 70 without the War Within expansion. Time to reflect. Level 70 is only 31 levels away. I can't start the War Within because I'm not high enough level to begin. I think that's level 62. So, should I continue? Am I having fun? Yes. Do I want to keep playing? Yes. Do I want to drop the money on the expansion that I can't play? A little bit, but I shouldn't. Then it's settled. We're heading to Chromie. And I mean like the quest line at Dragonflight, not... I'm mentioning this quest line specifically because I had a lot of fun with this one. I actually read some of the dialogue and I enjoyed running through the different timelines. Since I played as an elf one time in Classic, when you go back in time during the Chromie questline in Dragonflight, you end up heading back to the Classic elf starting area and experiencing a little of it before they pull you back to the present. I thought it was funny. I felt like a Chad for remembering. Chromie and Eternus battling, but then being essentially frozen and floating through time was also funny. You'd head to different significant places in the timeline and just find them chilling. I really like that. The game isn't as serious as I thought it was going to be. There were different versions of your own character in different timelines. There was a Murloc version of me in a world where Murlocs ruled Azeroth. It was so fun and so silly and so memorable. By this time in my WoW journey, I had wanted to learn about the lore, and I actually went through and watched The History of the World of Warcraft Explained in 1 hour by the Karazhan Library. I think that's how you pronounce it. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of the universe. I'll link that video in the description if you want to check it out. Because of this, I actually knew a little bit about the Black Empire and all the random events that we got to enjoy. It was awesome. 10 out of 10, had fun again. I'm leaving out a lot, of course, but this was the most memorable side quest in Dragonflight. I ended up exploring a bit more after this. I went to Stormwind and checked out some of the Chromie time stuff. I experimented off stream with the Demon Hunter class because they look cool, and I know a little bit about Illidan because of Warcraft 3. I eventually want to make a hunter of some sort because I want to use guns, so, well, any class that uses guns really. At the end of all that mindless wandering, I'd come back to Dragonflight to power through any random quest lines I could. I helped my old friend Rathian, whom I barely knew, take the Obsidian Citadel. I met a family member he didn't even know was alive. I don't really know how that ended because all he wanted from me was these keys, and Sibelian, I think it is, wanted the keys as well. And I was offended because they literally had me doing their bidding for some random keys while they just sat there and looked menacing, the bastards.
What? Find me more restored obsidian keys, and we shall unlock the full potential of the Obsidian Citadel.
How many fucking keys do you want? I'm out of here. I kept trying to do this world quest, trying to take this raft from somewhere, but it kept disappearing. I'd log out and log in, and it would be there for a second and then disappear. So I helped the people at the spa at Valdrakken. It wasn't a very relaxing place until I spruced it up. I flew around the whole map doing odds and ends, and finally, after all that time, I hit level 70. Level 70. And it felt so good to finally hit the big 7-0. I could continue the quest line. But no. I want more. I want more levels. I'm addicted. I can't sit here and pretend to care about these dragons and their random crap and go to the new island and do quests here when there's a whole 10 other levels to gain, and I'm not gaining any experience anymore. That's it. I'm paying. And with that, I reached the end of Dragonflight. Though I never finished it completely, it was the first quest line that I played through most of, and the first time I ever hit a level cap in WoW. I was foaming at the mouth, with my credit card out, paying for the war within, greedily squeezing every last drop from my now limp and worthless card.
From the moment the dark titan Sargeras plunged his colossal blade into our world, crucial events were set in motion. Magni Bronzebeard heard the cries of Azeroth, giving up everything to answer her call.
Since being wounded by the Mad Titan, Azeroth has been crying out in pain.
Holy shit! This expansion is 1,000% more interesting, and I've only seen the opening recap. But I'm a hat-wearing streamer and content creator now for a little bit. My god. This expansion blew my mind, let me tell you. It just pops off. I don't know how to explain it. At the start, you're trying to fight off an invasion. Shit. And then Dalaran, which I don't know too much about, literally falls out of the sky thing. You know. Oh my god, they destroyed the whole city. Can't go there anymore. Holy fuck! Jesus! And then you're on a beach, fighting for your life with other survivors. I was so dang excited to play, which is crazy because I already had been playing for an estimated like 25 to 26 hours, give or take, of the same grind. Like, look, it's a great game, but a lot of it's the same. Come on. Bang, boom! Here we go again. Ready to smash out more quests and explore a new world. Well, it's not a new world, is it? It's like a new part of the continent. Whatever. I didn't really read about anything, so it was all brand spanking new to me. As I played through the campaign, I got to learn a lot about the story, but even more importantly, I got to do new content with delves. I read online later that some people don't like them, but bro, I don't mind them, eh? I quite enjoy a little delve. Me and Bran are brothers for life, homie. things are pretty much the same, but in this area I got to see a lot of other players as opposed to almost no one in Dragonflight. It was cool to see all the Giga Chads gathering in the open area. Heading through all the different places and locations was nice. I think I liked all of the places, although Hellowfall was probably my favorite, but only because of the aesthetic. When I originally went there for the first time, I thought it kind of looked like a Dark Souls place. It was breathtaking to fly through, at least for me. The story wasn't the craziest story, but that didn't matter. I just wanted to max my character once again, get all the cool new spell thingies and passives, and eventually do some dungeons and some raids. Okay, briefly on the story though, bloody Windrunner, you know, Illyria Windrunner, just kept running off trying to 1v1 Xal'atath, and Zal would show up and show that she was OP, and Windrunner would have to leave, and this happened over and over and over, and Illyria would literally ditch us or disappear and try again and again and again, and then all of a sudden at the end, Illyria and co, after she goes through whatever realization that she needs to, we beat her? She can damage her through what? The power of friendship? Like she decides, oh, I'm not aiming for you. I'm aiming at something that's next to you, and then damages her, and that's the end of the campaign. Right. And Thrall is on the main artwork, but he shows up for what feels like a second. Anyway, once I finished the campaign, it was time to grind the gear. I accidentally found myself at the Siren Isle for a few hours grinding out the circle stuff. I learned about how the safe works at the bank, and it gave me excuses to do the delves, and not that I really needed excuses anyway. I changed Spellbook and learned Arcane. I actually did that during the quest line, but I wanted to bring it up because it was so fucking fun. I also learned about add-ons, which helped me so much using the arcane spells. Not that I'm that good at it anyway, but you know, now that I'm actually playing this game, I can see how and why people lose so much time smashing it out. The next season of The War Within is right around the corner, which means I gotta be ready. I'm leaving a lot out about, you know, the whole War Within campaign, but I highly recommend playing it, and there was just so much. But now, my thoughts. So here I am. I've completed most of one campaign in Dragonflight, and I think all of another, which is The War Within. I maxed my character, and I'm finally at a point where I can grind gear. Something that I love. What do I think of the journey, the experience, and the game? Well, personally, I love it. World of Warcraft retail is super fun. I can't say I understand it from the point of view of somebody who's been playing it for years, but for someone who has never completed much of the game at all before, I honestly had a blast doing it. As of creating this video, I have yet to do a raid or a player dungeon. I swear I will. I don't know why I keep putting it off. Don't at me. Actually, please at me. I need the engagement. Twitter, Blue Sky. But honestly, I am so excited to keep going. The journey hasn't been too long, and it has been pretty amazing. It's hyped me up for all things World of Warcraft. I actually went back to watch the Warcraft movie again, and I've started playing through Warcraft 3. I bought Reforged, and I haven't played Warcraft 3 since I was probably 17. So, insane. All in all, my time so far in World of Warcraft has been immensely positive, and I cannot wait to continue my adventure in Azeroth. I will 100% be playing all of the expansions to come, and I can't wait for the continuation. Like, even with all that shit I said. I definitely recommend playing this game in 2025. Remember though, I'm the kind of gamer that loves to throw hours into a grind, no matter what kind of game it is. I'm an old school RuneScape player, for fuck's sake. If you have a love for grinding gear, fantasy worlds, and or adventure, you'll probably like World of Warcraft Retail. Game still slaps.